Now let me tell you a secret. The world you perceive is nothing more than the outpicturing of where you have placed your focus. Everything in your world, every circumstance, every relationship, every material condition is the harvest of seeds you have sown with your attention. Where attention goes, energy flows, and manifestation follows. You see, the creative power that sleeps within you responds not to idle wishes or fleeting thoughts, but to the state upon which you have placed your focus with conviction. The Bible tells us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But thinking is not enough. It is the sustained focus of thought, imbued with feeling, that reshapes your reality. I once knew a man who desired financial abundance. He would affirm daily, I am wealthy, yet continue to dwell in thoughts of lack, scarcity, and limitation. His words proclaimed abundance, but his focus remained fixed on absence. And so absence persisted in his experience. His focus, you see, was divided. Now, let me clarify what I mean by focus. Focus is not concentration that creates tension. True focus is the natural consequence of fascination. When you are fascinated by something, your attention is effortlessly drawn to it. This is the kind of focus that transforms. To create a new reality, you must become so fascinated with your desired state that it consumes your consciousness. You must live from it, view the world through its lens, and respond to life as though your desire were already an accomplished fact. This is the new level of focus required for manifestation. The great tragedy is that most people focus intently on what they do not want, and then marvel at why these unwanted things keep appearing in their lives. Do you not see? Whatever commands your focus multiplies in your experience, regardless of whether you want it or not. The outer world is dead. It has no power to create, no power to cause. It is simply effect, an echo, a shadow of your inner focus. Change your focus, and you change your world. This is the law. Now, what does this new level of focus look like in practice? It requires 4 elements: clarity, consistency, conviction, and detachment. First, clarity. You must know precisely what you desire. Vague wishes produce vague results. Define your desire in vivid detail. See it, feel it, touch it in your imagination. Make it as real to your senses as the chair you sit upon. I recall working with a young woman who wanted to find her ideal partner. When I asked her to describe this person, she gave only the most general description. Someone kind, she said, someone who loves me. I told her, your focus lacks definition. Sharpen your vision. What values must this person embody? How do you feel in their presence? What kind of life do you share together? As she brought her desire to sharper focus, her manifestation accelerated. Second, consistency. A focused mind is one that returns again and again to the same assumption, building conviction through repetition. The world is changed not by sporadic bursts of imagination, but by the groove worn deep by consistent focus. Think of it this way: if you plant a seed and dig it up each day to check its progress, it will never grow. Similarly, if you assume your desire one moment, then return to the old state the next, you uproot the seed of manifestation before it can take root. Consistency of focus allows the seed to flourish unseen until it breaks through into expression. Consider the story in Scripture of the prophet Elijah. He sent his servant 7 times to look for signs of rain during a drought. The servant saw nothing 6 times. But Elijah maintained his focus, knowing the rain would come. On the 7th time, the servant reported seeing a small cloud. From this tiny manifestation came abundant rain. Had Elijah abandoned his focus after the first or second attempt, the manifestation would have been aborted. Third, conviction. It is not enough to think about your desire, you must think from it. This is faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Conviction is the feeling that your desire is done, finished, complete in the invisible realm, and must, by law, appear in your visible world. Let me tell you of a man I knew who desired a promotion at work. For months, nothing happened, though he affirmed his desire daily. When I spoke with him, I discovered that he was affirming from a place of doubt. He was saying the words but did not believe them. I told him, you must convince yourself first. You must reach such conviction that even if the whole world denied it, you would stand unshaken in your assumption. He began to imagine each night just before sleep that his colleagues were congratulating him on his promotion. He felt their handshakes, heard their words, felt the joy in his heart. He did this with complete conviction, as though experiencing a memory rather than creating a fantasy. Within 3 weeks, he received the promotion, a position that had not even existed when he began his focused work. Fourth, detachment. This seems paradoxical, but true focus includes the ability to detach from the how and when of manifestation. Attachment creates anxiety, and anxiety dilutes focus. When you truly know that your desire is yours, you can release the urgency and desperate longing that indicates lack of faith. Detachment means you plant the seed, water it with attention, and then allow the invisible forces of creation to do their perfect work without interference. It is the opposite of indifference. It is supreme confidence that what is done in consciousness must appear in reality. Now, let me address a question that may have formed in your mind. If focus is so powerful, why do I sometimes focus intently on something and still not receive it? The answer is simple but profound. Your conscious focus must be aligned with your subconscious assumptions. You see, your subconscious mind holds beliefs about yourself and the world that may contradict your conscious wishes. And it is the subconscious that truly determines your focus. You may consciously focus on wealth while subconsciously believing you are unworthy of abundance. In such a case, your true focus, your subconscious focus, is on unworthiness, not on wealth. This is why I teach the technique of feeling the wish fulfilled as you fall asleep. In the drowsy state between wakefulness and sleep, the conscious mind relaxes its guard, and the subconscious becomes receptive to new impressions. Impress upon your subconscious the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and your entire being, conscious and subconscious, will align in perfect focus. Let me tell you a personal story. Years ago, I desired to travel and lecture throughout the United States, sharing these principles with all who'd listen. At the time, I had no means, no connections, no invitations. But each night I would fall asleep feeling the satisfaction of having completed successful lectures across the country. I felt the handshakes, heard the applause, experienced the gratitude of those whose lives had been transformed. I maintained this focus not for a night or a week, but consistently, and though the way was not immediately apparent, doors began to open. An invitation came from one city, then another. The means for travel appeared. Within a year, what had existed only in my focused imagination became my living reality. The Bible says the light of the body is the eye. This is not speaking of the physical eye, but a focus where you place your attention. If therefore thine eye be single, if your focus be undivided, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if your focus is scattered, divided between what is and what could be, between faith and doubt, how great is that darkness? This is why a new level of focus is required for manifestation, not the ordinary focus that shifts and wavers with circumstances, but a transcendent focus that remains fixed on the invisible reality of your desire until it solidifies in the visible world. Now, there is a certain practice that I have found invaluable for developing this transcendent focus. Each day, preferably in the morning, when your mind is fresh, and in the evening before sleep, enter into a state of relaxation. Let your body become comfortable and your mind still. Then direct your attention inward to the center of your being, to that place where you know yourself to be I am. From this center, consciously choose where to place your focus. See your desire as accomplished. Step into the scene. Make it first person present tense. Do not see it as something that will happen. Experience it as something that is happening now. Involve all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? Even what would you taste or smell in the state of your wish fulfilled? Remain in this state for at least 5 minutes, fully absorbed in the reality of your desire fulfilled. Then, throughout your day, when doubts arise or old patterns of thought return, as they surely will gently bring your focus back to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This consistent redirection of focus is the discipline that leads to mastery. Let me share with you the testimony of a student who applied this principle of focused imagination. She had been estranged from her adult son for nearly a decade. No communication, no reconciliation, despite many attempts. She came to understand that her focus had been on the estrangement itself, on the pain of separation, on all the reasons why reconciliation seemed impossible. I instructed her to shift her focus completely. Each night I told her, as you lie down to sleep, imagine hearing your son's voice on the telephone. Hear him express his love for you. Feel the warmth in your heart as reconciliation occurs. Fall asleep in this state. For 1 month, she maintained this focus with unwavering consistency. She reported that at first, it was painful, as it highlighted the absence of what she desired. But gradually, the imaginal scene began to feel more natural, more real. Then one day, without any action on her part, the telephone rang. It was her son. The conversation mirrored what she had been imagining, even specific phrases she had heard in her imaginal scene. You see, her new level of focus had reconstructed her reality. She did not convince her son to call. She simply shifted the focus of her own consciousness. And all parties involved in her reality rearranged themselves to match her new focus. This is the creative power that sleeps within you. You are not a helpless observer of your life. You are its author. But authorship requires focused attention on the story you wish to write. Now, some of you may be thinking, this sounds like magical thinking. The world is real, solid, governed by physical laws. And to this I say the physical universe is indeed governed by law. But it is the law of consciousness, not the laws of physics, that is fundamental. Physics describes the behavior of manifestation. Consciousness is the source of what manifests. Science itself is now confirming what the mystics have always known. That matter is not solid, but is mostly empty space. That a particle popping in and out of existence, that observation of behavioral particles. In other words, focused conscious attention directly impacts physical reality. Quantum physics speaks of the observer effect, where the mere act of observation changes the behavior of subatomic particles. Is this not precisely what I am describing? Your focus, your observation changes the very fabric of your reality. Think about it this way: your world is not outside you. The world you experience is a projection from within, filtered through your focus. Change your focus and you change the projection. This is not fantasy. This is the fundamental nature of reality. Consider the placebo effect, scientifically documented countless times. A patient believes they are receiving medicine, though they are given a sugar pill, and their body responds as though they received the actual medicine. Their focus, their belief created physiological changes. This is not anomalous, it is a glimpse into the true creative process. But here is where many stumble. They try to use the power of focus as a technique, while still believing in the supremacy of external conditions. They affirm abundance while believing in the reality of their limitation. They visualize health while believing in the power of their disease. Their focus is divided, and a divided focus cannot create coherently. A new level of focus requires a new understanding of the nature of reality. You must grasp not intellectually but experientially that the world shapes itself around your focus. As within, so without. As above, so below. This is the Hermetic principle that has been taught through the ages. Let me offer a practical exercise to develop this new level of focus. I call it living from the end. For the next 30 days, choose one desire that you wish to manifest. Make it something believable to you, yet not currently present in your life. Each morning upon waking, each evening before sleeping, and at least once during the day, close your eyes and enter the state of your wish fulfilled. Experience it with all your senses. Feel the emotion that accompanies its fulfillment. Give thanks for its completion. Then, open your eyes and proceed with your day, but maintain the feeling that your desire is already accomplished. When you speak, speak from this assumption. When you act, act from this assumption. When you think, think from this assumption. At first, this will require conscious effort. you will catch yourself reverting to old patterns of focus. When this happens, do not condemn yourself. Simply notice and gently bring your focus back to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persistence is key. Remember, you are establishing a new pattern of focus, and all new patterns require repetition until they become automatic. After 30 days of this practice, your subconscious mind will begin to accept your new focus as reality. And when the subconscious accepts something as real, it must externalize it in your experience. This is law. Now I must address a critical point. This new level of focus cannot coexist with fear, worry, or anxiety. These emotional states indicate focus on what you do not want, and what you focus on expands. When fear rises, and it will recognize it as a signal that your focus has shifted to an undesired outcome. Then consciously redirect your focus to the desired state. There is a passage in Scripture that beautifully illustrates this principle. Jesus was with his disciples in a boat when a storm arose. The disciples were terrified, focusing on the dangers of the storm. Jesus was asleep, undisturbed. When they woke him, he rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Then he said to his disciples, "Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no faith?" The disciples' focus was on the storm, on what they feared. Jesus' focus remained on perfect peace and safety, regardless of appearances. His faith, his unwavering focus on the desired state, calmed the waters. This is not merely a historical account or a miracle performed by someone special. It is a demonstration of the power available to anyone who maintains the proper focus. You are not required to calm literal storms, but you are called to calm the storms of circumstance in your life through proper focus. When the evidence of your senses contradicts your desire, will you focus on the temporary facts or on the eternal truth of your creative power? There is another aspect of focus that is rarely discussed but vitally important. Your focus should not only be on the fulfillment of your desire, but on the consciousness of already being the person who has that desire fulfilled. In other words, focus on being, not just having. If you desire wealth, focus not merely on having money, but on being wealthy in consciousness. How does a wealthy person think? How do they feel about money? How do they make decisions? Focus on embodying these qualities now, regardless of your current financial situation. If you desire a loving relationship, focus not merely on finding a specific person, but on being loving in consciousness. How does a person who is deeply loved and loving think? How do they feel? How do they interact with others? Embody these qualities now, and the specific manifestation will follow. This shift from having to being is a profound one. It moves your focus from external conditions to internal states, where true creative power resides. External conditions will always change and can be lost. What you become in consciousness is eternal and can never be taken from you. I knew a woman who desperately wanted to be married. Her focus was entirely on finding a husband, as though a piece of herself was missing and needed to be found externally. Despite numerous relationships, fulfillment eluded her. When we spoke, I suggested that she shift her focus from finding love to being loved, to embodying the consciousness of someone in a loving, fulfilling marriage. She began to focus on feeling complete within herself, appreciating her own company, making decisions from a place of partnership, even while physically alone. Within her own consciousness, she lived as though her perfect marriage was already a reality. She focused on gratitude for her wonderful husband, though no physical man was present. Within 3 months, she met a man who perfectly matched the consciousness she had been embodying. Their connection was immediate and deep, and they married within a year. But here is the interesting part. She later told me that even if she hadn't met him, she had already found what she was truly seeking, the feeling of completeness, connection, and love that she thought could only come from a relationship. This is the paradox of manifestation through focus. When you focus on lacking something and needing to get it, you perpetuate the consciousness of lack. When you focus on already being and having what you desire, you establish the consciousness of fulfillment, and the external must follow suit. Let us return to the core of our discussion. Everything you desire requires a new level of focus. Not the divided, wavering focus of the undisciplined mind, but the single-pointed, unwavering focus of one who knows their creative power. This focus is not strained or tense. It is the natural absorption in a beloved idea. It is falling in love with your vision so completely that it occupies your mind effortlessly. This kind of focus generates energy rather than depletes it. I urge you to take inventory of where your focus currently resides. What occupies your mental attention throughout the day? What thoughts do you return to habitually? What emotions dominate your inner landscape? These are the seeds that are growing into the circumstances of your life. If you do not like what you see manifesting in your experience, do not waste energy fighting against it or resisting it. All resistance amplifies. Instead, shift your focus completely to what you desire to experience. Give it your attention, your emotion, your conviction. Water this new seed with consistent focus until it crowds out the unwanted growth. Remember, the external world has no power over you except the power you give it through your focus. When you know this, truly know it, not just intellectually, but in the depths of your being, you become the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. Now, there is one final aspect of focus I must address, and it is perhaps the most important. The highest use of this creative power is not for material gain or personal advantage, though these are natural byproducts. The highest use is for the expansion of consciousness itself, for the realization that you are more than you appear to be. Focus ultimately on the grandest version of yourself, on the divine potential that sleeps within you. Focus on embodying love, wisdom, compassion, creativity. Focus on expressing the fullness of your being. For in the end, all external desires are merely symbols of the one true desire. To know yourself as the divine in expression, to experience yourself as the creative principle of the universe. When your focus shifts to this ultimate reality, all lesser manifestations arrange themselves harmoniously. You receive not only what you consciously desire, but what serves the highest expression of your being. You transcend the limitations of personal will and align with divine will, which always leads to greater freedom, greater joy, greater fulfillment than the personal mind could imagine. So I say to you tonight, everything you desire requires a new level of focus. Not more effort, not more struggle, not more sacrifice, but a new quality and direction of attention. Focus determines experience. Focus on problems, and problems multiply. Focus on solutions, and solutions appear. Focus on lack, and lack persists. Focus on abundance, and abundance grows. Focus on love, and love surrounds you. Focus on limitation, and you remain confined. Focus on possibility, and your world expands. The choice is always yours in each moment. Your power is not in some distant future when conditions improve. Your power is now, in the focus you choose in this moment, and the next after that. Begin tonight. As you leave this place, consciously direct your focus to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Maintain this focus despite all evidence to the contrary. Return to it when you waver. Strengthen it when you doubt. Live from it when appearances mock it. And watch as the invisible gradually becomes visible, as your focus creates your reality. You are the operant power in your universe. You are the focus through which the infinite expresses itself. You are not merely human, you are divine. And your focus is the instrument of your divinity. Feel it now. Know it now. Live from it now. And watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. Remember the words of the Psalm, "Be still and know that I am God." In that perfect stillness of mind, in that single-pointed focus on the divine within, all things become possible. For when you truly know that the I am within you is God, there is nothing to fear, nothing impossible, nothing beyond your creative reach. Everything you desire requires a new level of focus. Give yourself that gift. Focus on the highest, the best, the most beautiful and true. Focus as though your fulfillment depends upon it, because it does. The world awaits your focused command. Speak it with conviction. Feel it with emotion. Know it with certainty. And watch as the universe conspires to bring it into being. For this is the law. And this is the promise. As within, so without. As above, so below. As you focus, so shall it be. Tonight you have been given the key. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it with conviction, and all that you desire shall be added unto you. When you leave this place, Do not return to old patterns of thought. Maintain your new awareness, your new focus. For you have not heard these words by accident. You were drawn here by your own readiness to receive this truth. Now, having received it, you must live it. Go forth in the confidence that the creative power of the universe flows through you, that your focus directs this power, and that as you maintain your focus on the fulfillment of your desires, nothing can prevent their manifestation. I have shared with you the secret of creation itself. Honor it with your practice, prove it with your experience, and share it through your transformed life. Everything you desire requires a new level of focus. Begin now and make this the foundation of a new and glorious chapter in your journey. For you are meant to have all that your heart truly desires, not through struggle and strain, but through the focused power of your divine imagination. Now let us close our eyes for a moment and feel the absolute truth of these words. Feel the presence of your fulfilled desire as a present reality. Know that it is done. Give thanks for its completion and carry this feeling with you as you go forward, maintaining your focus on the invisible reality until it becomes visible for all to see. Thank you and blessings on your journey of conscious creation. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have everything they desire, while others struggle their entire lives? The difference isn't luck, intelligence, or even hard work. It's something far more powerful, something I discovered that transformed my life in just 7 days. Today, I'm going to share with you the 5 habits that will revolutionize your existence. But before I do, I need you to understand something crucial. Everything you're about to hear has been tested, proven, and verified not just by me, but by thousands who have applied these principles. Let's start with habit number 1, the morning mental diet. This habit alone has the power to reshape your entire reality. Here's exactly how to do it. When you first wake up, don't move. Keep your eyes closed. For the next 15 minutes, you're going to enter what I call the creation zone. In this state, your brain waves are perfectly aligned for programming your subconscious mind. Begin by feeling your desired reality. Notice I'm not saying visualize, I'm saying feel. If you want financial abundance, feel the sensation of checking your bank account and seeing millions. Feel the texture of the leather seats in your dream car. Feel the ocean breeze on your face as you sit on the balcony of your beach house. I remember when I first started this practice, I was sleeping on a hard mattress in a cramped room, but every morning I would feel the sensation of waking up in my dream home. I felt the plush carpet under my feet, the warmth of the morning sun streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows, the peace of achieving everything I desired. Within days, my external reality began shifting to match my internal experience. This isn't coincidence, it's law. Habit number 2, the constant state. This habit is about maintaining your desired state throughout the day. Most people let their circumstances dictate their state of mind. We're going to reverse that. When you walk, walk as if you've already achieved everything you desire. When you talk, speak from the perspective of someone who has it all. When you breathe, breathe as if you're already living your dream life. This isn't pretending. It's assuming the natural state of who you really are. Think about how you'd carry yourself if you were already successful. How would your posture be? How would you interact with others? How would you respond to challenges? I practice this everywhere, at the grocery store, in meetings, while driving. Instead of letting my current circumstances affect my state, I maintained the feeling of my wish fulfilled. The results were immediate and astounding. Habit number 3, the financial feeling. This habit transformed my relationship with money overnight. Every time you interact with money, spending it, receiving it, even thinking about it, maintain the feeling of unlimited abundance. Here's the key to the financial feeling. When you pay bills, feel genuine gratitude for your ability to circulate money. When you buy something, feel the joy of endless prosperity. Even when you see expensive items, feel the natural comfort of knowing you can easily afford them. I remember standing in front of luxury stores, feeling the natural sensation of being able to buy anything I desire, not from a place of lack or wanting, but from a place of knowing it was already mine. This leads us to habit number 4, the nightly review. This habit is what I call the subconscious programming session. Before sleep, your mind enters a highly receptive state. This is when you can implant your desires directly into your subconscious. Lie in bed and replay your perfect day. Not the day you just had, but the day you want to have. Feel yourself waking up in your dream home. Experience the satisfaction of achieving your goals. Feel the joy of your ideal relationships. I would lie there feeling the sensation of closing million-dollar deals, of impacting thousands of lives, of living in complete abundance. I didn't just imagine these scenes, I felt them with every fiber of my being. The 5th habit is what I call the identity shift. This is perhaps the most powerful of all. Instead of trying to change your circumstances, you change who you are at the core level. Most people try to change their lives from the outside in. They think if I get more money, a better job, or a perfect relationship, they'll finally become the person they want to be. But that's backwards. You must first become that person in your mind. Feel what it's like to be confident, successful, and fulfilled. Don't ask yourself what you need to do to become successful. Ask yourself what a successful person would do, and then naturally do those things. I remember the exact moment this clicked for me. I stopped trying to become successful and simply assumed the identity of someone who already was. My walk changed, my talk changed, my decisions changed, all naturally, all effortlessly. These 5 habits work together in perfect harmony. The morning mental diet programs your day. The constant state maintains that programming. The financial feeling transforms your relationship with abundance. The nightly review deepens the impression, and the identity shift makes it all permanent. But here's what most people don't understand. These habits aren't about changing your actions. They're about changing your state of consciousness. When your consciousness changes, your actions change automatically. Think about it. How does a wealthy person make decisions? How does a confident person handle challenges? How does a successful person view opportunities? When you assume these states of consciousness, you naturally take the actions that create these results. Let me share with you how these habits create lasting transformation. Most people try to change their lives through willpower and struggle, but that's like trying to push a boulder uphill. These habits work with the natural laws of consciousness. Consider this: every morning when you practice the mental diet, you're actually reprogramming your subconscious mind. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined with feeling. It simply accepts whatever you impress upon it. I discovered that the key is persistence. When I first started, my logical mind would argue, saying this isn't real. But I persisted in maintaining the feeling of my desired reality. Within days, my external world began rearranging itself to match my internal state. Let me show you how to deepen these habits. With the constant state, you must understand that every moment is an opportunity to reinforce your new reality. When you're standing in line at the coffee shop, feel wealthy. When you're stuck in traffic, feel successful. When you're waiting for an elevator, feel accomplished. I remember catching myself slipping back into old patterns of thought. But instead of fighting these thoughts, I would gently return to my desired state. It's like training a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it becomes. The financial feeling requires a complete shift in how you view money. Most people feel tension, worry, or lack when dealing with money. You must train yourself to feel relaxed, confident, and abundant in all financial situations. When I began this practice, I would walk into expensive stores and feel completely at home. I would look at luxury cars and feel the natural sensation of ownership. I would read about million-dollar deals and feel completely comfortable with those numbers. The nightly review becomes more powerful when you add emotional intensity to your scenes. Don't just passively observe your desired reality. Be fully immersed in it. Feel the textures, hear the sounds, experience the emotions. I would spend hours perfecting my scenes, making them more vivid, more real, more alive. The key is to feel the naturalness of your desired state. It shouldn't feel like fantasy. It should feel like memory. The identity shift is where all these habits culminate. You're not just changing your thoughts or actions, you're changing who you are at the deepest level. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about awakening to who you truly are. Think about how master pianist plays. They don't think about each note, they express their mastery naturally. That's how these habits should feel. They should become as natural as breathing. Let me reveal something profound about these habits that most people never realize. Every single moment of your day is either reinforcing your old reality or creating your new one. There is no neutral ground. When you're practicing the morning mental diet, you're not just daydreaming, you're actually selecting which version of reality you'll experience. Think of it like tuning a radio to a specific frequency. The station you tune into determines what you'll hear. I discovered that the key to making this habit unstoppable is to focus on the feeling tone of your desire. If you want wealth, don't just imagine money. Feel the security, the freedom, the peace that comes with abundance. Make it so real that your palms tingle with the sensation. The constant state becomes even more powerful when you understand this. Your current circumstances are just shadows of past thinking. They have no power to dictate your state unless you give them that power. This was a game changer for me. When I faced challenges or setbacks, instead of reacting to them, I would immediately shift to the feeling of my desire fulfilled. If someone questioned my goals, I maintained my state. If circumstances seemed contrary to my desires, I persisted in my chosen state. Here's something critical about the financial feeling that transformed my entire relationship with money. Money is just frozen desire. When you maintain the feeling of abundance, you're actually melting that frozen energy and allowing it to flow freely in your life. I remember standing in line at the grocery store, watching others stress about prices. But I had trained myself to feel wealthy regardless of my bank balance. Every transaction became an opportunity to circulate abundance, to feel the joy of prosperity. The nightly review becomes magnetic when you add this dimension. As you're reviewing your perfect day, feel the satisfaction of already having lived it. Don't preview it, review it. This subtle shift makes all the difference. I would lie in bed feeling the profound gratitude of another successful day, even before that day had physically manifested. I felt the handshakes, heard the congratulations, experienced the joy of achievements as if they had already happened. The identity shift deepens when you realize this truth. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering who you truly are. This isn't about change, it's about recognition. You're simply recognizing your true unlimited nature. Most people think success is about doing, but it's really about being. When you shift your identity, the doing follows naturally. I stopped trying to figure out how to become successful and simply started being successful in my mind and emotions. Here's something few understand about these habits. They work on the principle of assumption. When you assume something is true, your subconscious mind must make it so. It has no choice. It's like giving it a direct command. Let me share something revolutionary about these habits that changed everything for me. Most people think time is linear, that tomorrow comes after today. But when you master these habits, you realize time is actually simultaneous. All possibilities exist now. The morning mental diet becomes exponentially more powerful when you grasp this. You're not creating something new. You're selecting from infinite existing possibilities. Every morning, as you lie there feeling your desired reality, you're actually tuning into a version of you that already has everything you want. I discovered that consistency is crucial. Even if you don't feel like doing it, even if your logical mind argues against it, you must maintain these practices. It's like building a fire. You can't light it once and expect it to burn forever. You must tend to it. The constant state takes on new meaning when you understand this principle. Your external world is nothing but your internal world pushed out. Everything you see, every person you meet, every circumstance you encounter is simply showing you your previous state of consciousness. This was mind-blowing for me. I realized that when I maintained my desired state throughout the day, I wasn't just pretending. I was actually shifting the entire universe to match my consciousness. Every moment became an opportunity for transformation. Let me share a deeper aspect of the financial feeling that most never grasp. Money is just a symbol of exchange, but abundance is a state of being. When you maintain the feeling of abundance, you're not just attracting money, you're becoming the very essence of prosperity. I remember walking into stores and feeling completely different about prices. Instead of seeing something as expensive, I would feel genuine appreciation for its value. Instead of wondering if I could afford something, I naturally knew everything was within my means. The nightly review becomes transformative. When you add this dimension, as you're reviewing your perfect day, feel the relief of knowing it's done. Feel the satisfaction of completion. Feel the natural assumption that this is simply your way of life now. I would lie there feeling the weight of achievement, the warmth of accomplishment, the peace of knowing my desires were already fulfilled. This wasn't hope or wishful thinking. It was a knowing beyond all doubt. The identity shift deepens when you realize this truth. Every version of you already exists. The successful you, the wealthy you, the confident you, they're all present now. You're not creating these versions, you're selecting which one to experience. Think about this. When you change channels on a TV, you're not creating new programs. You're tuning into broadcasts that already exist. Similarly, when you shift your identity, you're tuning into a version of you that already exists in infinite possibility. These habits work together in perfect harmony because they all operate on the same principle, the principle of consciousness. Whatever you're conscious of, you must experience. Whatever you feel is real must become real. Let me reveal something that will fundamentally change how you understand these habits. Most people think success requires years of hard work, but I discovered that success happens in an instant. The instant you fully accept your desired state as real. Think about this when you're practicing the morning mental diet. You're not just visualizing a better future. You're actually stepping into a new dimension of yourself. Each morning becomes a portal to infinite possibilities. This is why the first 15 minutes of your day are sacred. I remember the exact moment this clicked for me. Instead of starting my day with worry and rush preparation, I would lie there in complete serenity, feeling my desired reality with such intensity that my current circumstances seemed like a distant dream. Here's a crucial aspect of the constant state that most miss. Your state of consciousness is your real environment. The physical world you see is just a shadow of past states. When you maintain your desired state throughout the day, you're actually living in your new reality because visible to others. Let me share something profound about maintaining your state. Every person you encounter, every situation you face, is actually an opportunity to reinforce your new reality. When someone talks about limitation, silently maintain your state of abundance. When circumstances appear challenging, intensify your feeling of success. The financial feeling becomes revolutionary when you understand this. Money doesn't flow to you. It flows through you. When you maintain the feeling of unlimited abundance, you become a channel for wealth. Every financial transaction becomes a celebration of prosperity. I would look at my bank account with the same feeling regardless of the numbers shown. I would pay bills with genuine joy, knowing that every dollar spent would return multiplied. I would treat myself to quality experiences, maintaining the natural feeling that I could afford anything I truly desired. The nightly review takes on new power when you grasp this. Your subconscious mind is most receptive in the last moments before sleep. This is when you can impress your desires most deeply. It's like programming tomorrow while you sleep. I would create scenes so vivid, so real, that my physical reality seemed like the dream. I would feel the texture of success, hear the sounds of achievement, experience the emotions of fulfillment with such intensity that my subconscious had no choice but to accept them as real. The identity shift becomes unstoppable. When you realize this, you are not your past thoughts, your current circumstances, or your future hopes. You are pure consciousness capable of assuming any state you desire. This is true power. Most people try to change their lives by changing their actions, but I discovered that when you change your identity, your actions change automatically. You don't have to force yourself to act successful. You naturally do what a successful person would do because you're operating from that state of consciousness. Here's something crucial about these habits. They're not separate practices. They're different aspects of the same truth. The truth that your consciousness is the only reality. Everything else, your body, your environment, your circumstances, is just consciousness pushed out into form. The morning mental diet becomes transformative when you realize this. In those first moments of waking, your brain operates in theta waves, the same state heed by advanced meditators. This is why those 15 minutes are more powerful than hours of affirmations during the day. I remember experiencing this profound truth. During these morning sessions, I wasn't just imagining success, I was actually experiencing success at a neurological level. My brain couldn't distinguish between my imagined reality and physical reality, creating new neural pathways of achievement. Here's the deeper aspect of the constant state that changed everything. Every emotion you feel throughout the day is actually a choice. When you understand this, you realize you can choose to feel successful, wealthy, and fulfilled regardless of external circumstances. Think about this, your current reality is just a shadow of past emotional states. When you maintain your desired emotional state consistently, you're actually creating your future reality. Every moment becomes a point of power, a chance to reinforce your new state of being. The financial feeling transforms when you grasp this principle. Money is just crystallized consciousness. When you maintain the feeling of abundance, you're actually altering the energy field around you. This is why opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere when you master this habit. I discovered that every financial transaction is actually an energy exchange. When I bought coffee, paid rent, or made any purchase, I maintained the feeling that I was circulating abundance, not losing money. This subtle shift created a constant flow of prosperity in my life. The nightly review becomes magical when you understand this. Your subconscious mind processes information in symbols and feelings. When you review your perfect day before sleep, you're actually feeding your subconscious mind a new blueprint for reality. I would lie there feeling the satisfaction of closed deals, the joy of achievement, the peace of financial freedom. But here's the key. I wouldn't just imagine these scenes, I would feel them with such intensity that my body responded as if they were actually happening. The identity shift reaches new depths when you realize this truth. Your identity isn't something you create. It's something you select from infinite possibilities. Just as a radio can tune into different stations, your consciousness can tune into different versions of you. This understanding transformed how I approach change. Instead of trying to become something new, I simply tuned into the version of me that already had everything I desired. The struggle disappeared, replaced by a natural assumption of my chosen state. Here's something profound about these habits. They work on the principle of resonance. Whatever state you maintain consistently becomes your dominant frequency, and the universe must respond by bringing you experiences that match that frequency. The morning mental diet becomes even more crucial. When you understand this, those first 15 minutes are actually programming the quantum field. When you feel your desired reality with intensity, you're not just affecting your mind, you're reorganizing the very fabric of reality. I discovered that during these morning sessions, maintaining pure focus is essential. Any doubt, any questioning of how to create static in the quantum field. The key is to feel with such completeness that questions become irrelevant. You simply know it's done. Here's something profound about the constant state that few understand. Every moment of your day is a choice point in quantum reality. Each time you maintain your desired state despite contrary evidence, you're actually collapsing quantum possibilities into your chosen reality. Think about this. When you're in line at a store, sitting in traffic, or facing any situation that would normally trigger negative emotions, you have a quantum opportunity. By maintaining your desired state, you're actually selecting which parallel reality you'll experience next. The financial feeling becomes extraordinary when you grasp this principle. Money is just frozen time and energy. When you maintain the feeling of unlimited abundance, you're actually altering the quantum field that governs financial flow. I remember walking past expensive stores, looking at luxury items, and feeling complete ownership, not from a place of wanting, but from a place of having. This wasn't pretense, it was selecting from infinite quantum possibilities the reality where these things were already mine. The nightly review takes on cosmic significance when you understand this. During sleep, your consciousness interfaces directly with the quantum field. Your nightly scene review isn't just programming your mind, it's programming reality itself. I would lie there feeling the absolute naturalness of my desires fulfilled. I discovered that the key isn't to reach for the feeling, but to settle into it like sinking into a comfortable chair. The more natural it feels, the more quickly it manifests. The identity shift becomes reality altering when you grasp this truth. You are not a physical being trying to affect the quantum field. You are the quantum field expressing itself as a physical being. This understanding changes everything. Most people think they need to overcome their circumstances. But I discovered that circumstances are just crystallized consciousness. When you shift your identity at the quantum level, circumstances must shift to match your new frequency. Here's something revolutionary about these habits. They work because they align you with the fundamental nature of reality. Reality isn't solid. It's a responsive field of infinite possibility, constantly shaped by consciousness. Think about this. Every great achievement in history first existed as a state of consciousness in someone's mind. The Wright brothers felt the reality of flight before planes existed. Every inventor, every innovator, every achiever first lived their desire in consciousness.
Ladies and gentlemen, our focus today is focus on you. People come and go. This simple phrase holds within it the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within each and every one of you. Let us begin by understanding what it truly means to focus on yourself. In the world of appearances, it may seem selfish or egotistical to direct your attention inward. But I tell you, it is the most divine and necessary act you can perform. You see, you are not merely the physical body you inhabit, or the personality you present to the world. You are, in essence, pure consciousness, the very substance of God Himself. When you focus on yourself, you are not focusing on the limited mortal self that is subject to the whims of the external world. No. You are directing your attention to the infinite immortal self that is one with the creative power of the universe. This self is the I Am, the eternal presence that exists beyond time and space. Now, you may ask, but Neville, what about the people in our lives? Are we to ignore them? And to this, I say, people come and go in the world of Caesar, but in the realm of imagination, you are the author of all relationships. Every person in your life is but a reflection of your own consciousness, playing a role in the grand drama of your creation. There's no one to change but self. As you focus on yourself, as you cultivate your imagination and align it with your desires, the world around you, including the people in it, must conform to your new concept of self. It is law. Consider for a moment the story of the prodigal son. He left his father's house, wandering in search of fulfillment in the external world. But it was only when he remembered who he truly was, when he focused on his true identity as the beloved son, that he was able to return home and claim his inheritance. You, my dear friends, are on a similar journey. You have wandered in the world of effects, seeking validation and fulfillment from others. But I tell you, the kingdom is within you. As you turn your attention inward, as you focus on the divine self within, you will find that all you have ever sought is already yours. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of this focus. When I speak of focusing on yourself, I'm not referring to mere positive thinking or affirmations. I'm speaking of a profound shift in consciousness, a complete reorientation of your entire being towards your desired state. This focus is achieved through the power of imagination. For imagination is not a flight of fancy or idle daydreaming. It is the very substance of reality, the creative power of God in action. When you imagine, you are literally molding the substance of the universe according to your will. As you focus on yourself, you must learn to see yourself as you wish to be, not as you currently appear to be. This is the art of revision, of rewriting your past and present to align with your desired future. For time is merely a concept in the world of Caesar. In the realm of imagination, all is now. Imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. See yourself embodying the qualities you admire, living the life you desire. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the fulfillment of being this version of yourself. This is not mere visualization. This is the act of entering into the state of the wish fulfilled. As you persist in this state, as you continually focus on this ideal version of yourself, you will find that your external world begins to shift. People and circumstances will rearrange themselves to match your new concept of self. Some may leave your life, while new individuals who resonate with your new state will enter. Remember, people come and go, but you, the operant power, remain constant. You are the unchanging awareness upon which all change takes place. As you focus on yourself, on your true identity as pure consciousness, you become unshakable, unmoved by the comings and goings of the external world. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I have tried to focus on myself, to imagine a better life, and yet nothing has changed. To this I sigh. Persistence is key. You must persist in the assumption that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have what you desire. Consider the biblical story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho. For 6 days, Joshua and his army marched around the city walls, seemingly to no effect. But on the 7th day, as they persisted in their march and sounded their trumpets, the walls came tumbling down. Your desired state, your ideal self, is Jericho. The walls that seem to separate you from it are merely illusions created by your current concept of self. As you persist in your new assumption, as you continue to focus on your ideal self, these walls will inevitably crumble. But remember, the feeling is the secret. It is not enough to merely visualize or affirm your desired state. You must feel the naturalness of being in that state. You must embody the emotions, the sensations, the inner conviction of already being the person you wish to be. As you cultivate this feeling, as you make it more and more real to yourself, you will find that the external world has no choice but to conform. For the outer world is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state of consciousness. Now, let us address the second part of our topic. People come and go. This statement holds within it a profound truth about the nature of reality and your role as the creator of your experience. In the world of Caesar, relationships appear to be external to us. We believe that people enter and leave our lives based on circumstances beyond our control. But I tell you, this is an illusion. Every person in your life is there because you have called them forth through your consciousness. You are the author of your life story, and every character in it is playing a role that you have assigned. Some are there to challenge you, to push you towards growth. Others are there to support and nurture you. Some may stay for a lifetime, while others may be present for just a moment. But understand this, no one has the power to enter or leave your life without your consent. Your consent may not be conscious in the world of Caesar, but at the level of your true self, your divine imagination, you are always in control. As you focus on yourself, as you shift your concept of self, you will naturally attract people who resonate with your new state. Those who no longer align with your new consciousness may fall away. This is not a loss, but a natural consequence of your growth and evolution. Think of yourself as a radio. As you tune to a new frequency, a new station, you naturally lose reception of the old station. The old station hasn't ceased to exist. You have simply tuned to a different broadcast. Similarly, as you tune your consciousness to a new state, you naturally attract experiences and people that match that frequency. This understanding liberates you from the fear of loss or abandonment. For you realize that you are never truly losing anyone. You are simply shifting your focus, tuning to a new station that better aligns with your desired state of being. Moreover, this knowledge empowers you to consciously create the relationships you desire. Instead of seeking validation or fulfillment from others, you recognize that all relationships are reflections of your relationship with yourself. As you focus on cultivating the qualities you wish to experience in your relationships within yourself, you will naturally attract individuals who embody these qualities. For instance, if you desire a loving partnership, focus on embodying love yourself. Feel the love you wish to receive. Imagine yourself in the state of being deeply loved and appreciated. As you persist in this state, you will find that either your current relationships transform to match this new vibration, or new relationships that embody this love will enter your life. Remember, the external world is dead. It has no power to create or to destroy. All power lies within you, within your consciousness. People do not come and go of their own accord. They enter and exit the stage of your life in perfect accordance with your beliefs and assumptions. This understanding frees you from the need to manipulate or control others. You no longer need to chase after people or cling to relationships out of fear. Instead, you focus on cultivating your ideal state of being, knowing that the right people and circumstances will naturally align with this state. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, what about free will? Don't others have the power to choose whether they want to be in our lives? To this I say, there's only one consciousness, one God, one I am. What appears as separate individuals are merely different aspects of this one consciousness, playing different roles in the grand drama of life. Your job is not to control the actions of others, but to control your own imagination, your own assumptions. As you do this, you will find that others naturally play the roles that align with your assumption. This is not a violation of their free will, but a harmonious dance of consciousness where all parts play their perfect role in the unfolding of your creation. Let us delve deeper into this concept of focusing on yourself, while understanding that people come and go. Imagine, if you will, that you are the director of a grand play. This play is your life, and you are not only the director, but also the lead actor. Every other character in this play, every person you encounter is there to serve the story you are telling. As the director, you have the power to rewrite the script at any moment. You can change the setting, alter the dialogue, and even replace the supporting cast. This is the essence of focusing on yourself. You are not at the mercy of the script or the other actors. You are the creator, the author of your own experience. When you truly grasp this truth, you will no longer be swayed by the comings and goings of others. You will understand that each person who enters your life is there to play a specific role in your unfolding story. Some may have leading roles that span much of your life's journey, while others may have brief cameo appearances. But all are there by your invitation, someone by your consciousness to play their part. Now you may ask, but Neville, how can I control who enters and exits my life? The answer lies not in trying to manipulate external circumstances, but in changing your own state of consciousness. As you focus on embodying your desired state of being, you will naturally attract people and circumstances that align with this state. Consider the biblical story of Joseph. When he was sold into slavery by his brothers, he could have focused on resentment and victimhood. Instead, he focused on embodying leadership and wisdom. As a result, he rose to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. And even his brothers, who had wronged him, came to serve him. This story illustrates a profound truth. Your external circumstances, including the people in your life, are a reflection of your inner state. As you focus on cultivating the qualities and experiences you desire within yourself, your outer world will rearrange itself to match this inner reality. But remember, this is not about forcing change or trying to control others. It is about aligning yourself with the state of consciousness that naturally attracts your desires. It is about becoming the person who would naturally experience what you wish to experience. Let us take a moment to practice this principle. Close your eyes and imagine yourself as the person you wish to be. See yourself embodying the qualities you admire. Feel the joy, the confidence, the peace that comes with being this version of yourself. Now, from this state, imagine the kind of people who would naturally be in your life. Don't try to force specific individuals into this vision. Simply feel the quality of relationships that would naturally align with this version of you. As you open your eyes, carry this feeling with you. Let it inform your interactions, your decisions, your very way of being in the world. As you persist in this state, you will find that your relationships begin to shift. Some people may fall away, while new individuals who resonate with your new state will enter your life. This is the natural ebb and flow of relationships when you are focused on your own growth and evolution. It is not something to fear or resist, but to embrace as part of your journey of self-realization. Now, Let us address a common concern that arises when we speak of focusing on oneself. Some may worry that this approach is selfish or that it neglects the needs of others. But I tell you, there is no greater gift you can give to the world than to fully realize your own divine nature. As you focus on cultivating your highest self, you become a beacon of light for others. You inspire by your very being. You lift others up not through effort or sacrifice, but through the natural radiance of your realized self. Moreover, as you focus on yourself, you come to understand that there is no others to neglect. All is one. The person you see is separate from you, but another aspect of the one consciousness that you are is you elevate your own consciousness. You elevate the consciousness of all. I and my Father are one. This is not a statement of egotism, but a recognition of the fundamental unity of all existence. As you focus on realizing this truth within yourself, you naturally extend love and compassion to all beings, for you recognize them as part of yourself. This understanding transforms your relationships. You no longer seek to get something from others or to change them. Instead, you see each person as a perfect expression of the divine, playing their role in the grand tapestry of existence. You love them not for what they can give you, but for what they are, unique expressions of the one consciousness that you all share. From this place of self-realization and unity consciousness, the coming and going of people in your life takes on a new meaning. You understand that each encounter, each relationship is a divine appointment, orchestrated by your own consciousness for your growth and evolution. Some people may enter your life to challenge you, to push you towards greater self-awareness. Others may come to support and nurture you on your journey. Some may stay for a lifetime, while others may be present for just a moment. But all are perfect. All are necessary. All are you in different guises. As you focus on yourself, on realizing your true nature as pure consciousness, you become like a mighty oak tree. Your roots grow deep into the soil of being, unshaken by the winds of circumstance. People may come and go like leaves on your branches, but you remain steadfast, ever growing. This state of being is your birthright. It is the truth of who you are. As you align with this truth, as you focus on embodying it in every moment, you will find that your life transforms in ways you may have never imagined possible. But remember, this transformation does not happen overnight. It requires persistence, faith, and above all, the willingness to see yourself as you truly are, not as the limited mortal self, but as the infinite, immortal consciousness that is one with God. In your daily life, practice seeing beyond appearances. When you encounter another person, whether they are playing a positive or challenging role in your life, silently acknowledge the divine within them. See them not as separate from you, but as another aspect of the one consciousness that you are. As you do this, you will find that your relationships take on a new depth and meaning. You will no longer be swayed by the opinions or actions of others, for you will recognize that all as you pushed out, every person, every circumstance, is a reflection of your own consciousness. This understanding gives you tremendous power. For if all is you pushed out, then by changing yourself, you change your entire world. This is the essence of focusing on yourself. It is not about ignoring others or becoming self-absorbed. It's about recognizing that the key to transforming your life and your relationships lies within you. As you focus on embodying your higher self, as you align with the truth of your being, you will find that the right people naturally gravitate towards you. Those who resonate with your new vibration will enter your life, while those who no longer align with your energy may fall away. This process is natural and necessary. It is the universe, which is none other than your own expanded self, reorganizing itself to match your new state of consciousness. Trust in this process. Know that everyone who enters or exits your life is doing so in perfect divine timing, serving the highest good of all involved. Now let's explore how this understanding can be applied to specific areas of your life. In your romantic relationships, for instance, instead of seeking the perfect partner outside of yourself, focus on embodying the qualities you desire in a relationship. Feel the love, the joy, the companionship you wish to experience. As you persist in this state, you will find that either your current relationship transforms to match this new vibration, or if you're single, the right partner who embodies these qualities will naturally be drawn into your life. Remember, your outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. It is law in your professional life. Instead of striving to impress others or seeking validation from colleagues or superiors, focus on embodying the qualities of success and excellence within yourself. Feel the satisfaction of doing work you love, of being recognized for your contributions, of achieving your goals. As you persist in this state, you will find that opportunities naturally arise that align with your new self-concept. The right people, mentors, collaborators, clients will be drawn to you, recognizing the unique value you bring. In your friendships, instead of trying to fit in or seeking approval from others, focus on being true to yourself. Embody the qualities of authenticity, loyalty, and genuine connection that you wish to experience in your relationships. As you do this, you will find that your social circle naturally evolves. Those who resonate with your authentic self will be drawn closer, while relationships based on superficial connections may fall away. This is not a loss, but a realignment that allows for deeper, more meaningful connections in all areas of your life. Remember that your focus determines your reality. Where you place your attention, your energy flows. By focusing on yourself, not the limited self of the ego, but your true self as pure consciousness, you align with the creative power of the universe.